Around the middle of each month, I like to check in to see where I am at with my goals and how I've been progressing. And I use a system that I started a few months ago that I've adapted from somebody else that I watched on YouTube. And today I wanted to go through that system with you so you could see what I'm doing and maybe you can use parts of this for yourself. So this is actually the first one I've done in Notion. I have actually typically done this in the past within a journal. So what I'm using in my journal is I have the days of the month, and then I have some questions here about what am I proud of, what can I improve, and what do I need to focus on for the next month. So this was from January. I covered half of December and then half of January here. I'm probably going to go maybe a month and a half towards the end of March just to make things a little bit rounded, and I can actually start then doing these at the beginning of a month. What are my current goals? Where am I at right now, and where do I want to be by March 30th? The way that I construct my goals is I construct them per quarter. That just keeps me thinking about my goals in a quarter by quarter basis rather than a year by year basis. I've always found that the shorter my goal time span is, the more likely I am to achieve, and then also I have the opportunity to adapt throughout the year. I set a goal of completing seven paintings, and one at a larger scale in either height or width than 36 inches. Unfortunately, I don't have any complete yet. I actually have one that's getting close, and then I have a very large one that is also getting close. But honestly, I have 5 that may not hit that goal. I might be lucky to get 4, if I'm being completely honest. That is then something I can change for quarter 2 of this year. And then I had a goal of doing 10 art accompanying projects. And what I mean by that is like a website or taking photos of my existing artworks. I thought I'd do these once every 2 weeks. And what I found is it just took time away from painting, and it took time away from working on my YouTube channel. And so I kind of narrowed down, all right, where am I needing to focus a little bit more in? And that is actually working on my paintings and getting more paintings done. I talked about YouTube, and here 5 YouTube videos published. I completed that goal. And then I also had a goal for the YouTube channel, which was improving content structure, like the creation structure. And I was looking at it as like, all right, what can I do to improve my titles? And how can I make a system around improving those titles or the thumbnail? Or how can I get faster with editing? And I also realized that I'm so new to this that it's just going to take some repetition for me to get better at certain things before I then can look at creating a system and then refining that system. So honestly, that one just kind of got removed as well. What have I got done in the last month? That's where we're gonna go next. I was keeping track of this in a paper calendar, actually, and I'm still going to keep track of this in a paper calendar. This is a good example of a typical week for me. What I would do is I would write down what I did during those days, and if any of it was moving me towards my goals. And so, see here on Tuesday I didn't write anything down. It was kind of a rough day for me that Tuesday. But on Wednesday I spent 3 hours on a book, reading a book that I'm going to make for a book review for the channel. An extra 2 hours shooting a YouTube video, and then I spent 2 hours painting on one of my paintings. And so at the end of the week, I'll tally up how many hours that was, and then I'll just make sure that I kind of keep them separated. So when I go to do my monthly review, I know where that time was. I don't need to go to each day and put in how many hours that was. I've got a week to week total, running total. And all I did for this example is I put it here on the iPad. So looking at it here on the iPad, you can see that I just took account of what I did. I have it somewhere that I can then reference back, like, why is this painting taking so long? Well, if I look back, I can see that some of these paintings, such as my Appaloosa painting, I've only spent 5 hours on it. So of course that one's taking forever. I haven't spent any time on it. But my Lillard painting and my Portis painting, those have had some significant time done, and you can tell when you look at them. Same with some of the concept sketches that I've worked on. McNeil Point and Patagonia concept sketches are both actually ready to be transferred to canvas, whereas the Lance and LeBron concept that I worked on, it's still a few hours off from being ready. So over the past month and a week, I've spent a grand total of 97 hours on my artwork. And down here at the bottom, you'll see that I have some hours spent on what I would call my YouTube work. And that could be like taking notes, writing video, shooting video, editing videos. I did a Skillshare course. I've read some art books and started working on an art book review. And then I have spent some time reconfiguring my Notion setup, and that's still going to need some time. Now I can look and see, what am I proud of overall this month? And I'm most proud of getting beyond the fear of starting this YouTube channel. That has been a thing that I've thought about for a long time, and I'm really proud that I'm starting to make these videos and putting them on my channel, just to see the progress that I'm making and to keep myself a little bit more accountable as well. So where can I improve? And I noticed a few things that I learned some tricks on Procreate that can help me improve the speed of my concept drawings. And I realized that I was taking forever to edit out all the dead space within my videos. And so I tried a trial of Recut, which is a video editing software that cuts out the quiet parts of a video. And I realized the last video saved me 3 hours, and I only edited a video for an hour and a half instead of 4.5 hours. That's really great. I really like that. And I need to improve on knowing which paints to mix together for skin tones, especially since I do have a couple paintings I'm working on that have skin tones. Some color mixes just do not work at all. And if I keep track of those color combinations that work well, that I can reuse in future paintings and just make minor adjustments to lightness or darkness, then that's going to save me a lot of time when I want to make more of these paintings, especially with basketball and some other sports I wanted to make some paintings on. So what did I add or subtract from last month? And this is something that I kind of ask myself, okay, I have some goals, and I admit I tend to jump around a little bit. Sometimes I find something such as this book and I go, oh, I really want to read that book now. Maybe that should have been added in here. And How to Become a Successful Artist book. In this last month, that's something that I added. So I had started using Apple Calendar to plan out my week to week. I added a couple of Skillshare classes. I read through other art themed books for more book reviews. I started on a concept drawing for a Lance and LeBron, and I started a Patagonia concept drawing. Now, what have I subtracted out of this last month? Well, I closed the Skillshare account after I took the classes that I wanted. I haven't done regular Instagram posts. I closed my Patreon page. I stopped focusing on the creating systems for my videos and the art supporting projects. Those are the other things I just subtracted out. For now, I'll get back to them later. So where do I need to focus? I need to focus on finishing paintings. Like I said earlier, I'll be lucky to finish 4 until at the end of March. I also want to improve my Notion workspace. And I'm going to set aside 10 hours to improve it and find some pain points on how I don't like how things are set up. And I want to continue the slow burn on a lot of the other video ideas and scripts that I've worked on in the past and never shot, or I've shot and I didn't like how they turned out. I want to develop some of those. So lastly, the last thing I look at and I add to this list is ideas for the next quarter's goals. And a couple of things I'm starting to notice is just putting less stress on the amount of paintings to complete and instead focusing on the amount of hours to dedicate to painting. And another one is creating something with gels or pastes. Obviously, I have a goal of 2 videos a week with a minimum of 1. That seems to be going pretty well for me. Setting specific days to do a painting marathon, like on a weekend when I can set aside time to do that. I would like to get out a basic website. And then lastly is just batching specific tasks together, like video shoots and editing. If you've made it this far into the video, let me know what you use to keep track of your own goals. I'm really interested in how other people keep track of their goals and how they keep themselves accountable. And you can steal ideas from me as well. And if you've liked what you saw in the video, give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Every week I would come out with a new video, and I really work hard on developing good ideas, and I'm working with myself better, and so getting some good feedback would be really appreciated. Until next week, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.